Hello, gentle people. I am my Harriet Tubman head wrap. Welcome you back to another episode of F.L.O.W. And today we are going to be celebrating Blackness in all its forms. But before we get to that, we are going to talk about what this week made us be like, Jesus needs to come quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna go first. I volunteer myself to go first. Now, this will only make sense if you are into Marvel, XYZ, but my obsession this week has been WandaVision, which is a new show they came out with, whatever. You need to come quickly because we need to stop letting white men with strong jawlines just mess everything up. That's it. I'm tired. In every show ever, it's always a white man with a strong jawline that's just in here being aggressive for no reason. And everyone's like, yeah, nah, we gonna follow him because he makes sense. No, he doesn't. And I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I said what I said.
So if you expound, it will be like a spoiler.
Yeah, probably. And I don't want to get all the way. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that maybe hasn't, which I've been accused of doing already because I like live react to stuff. And I've had people complain and be like, what you can't do. So that's all I'm going to say about it.
All right, I'll go next. I need Jesus to come quickly because I was grading papers this week, and I gave these kids an assignment to write a letter to, someone, an African American who they felt has made an impact. And this kid wrote a letter to MLK thanking him for his work and helping to free the slaves. And
wow.
I am not a history teacher. Let me put that out there.
I'm about to be like, cause that's not on the kid. If you're in charge of teaching them history,
I'm not a history teacher. Nowhere near. I'm blaming it on where they went to middle school because they're only in 9th grade. But I'm gonna need Jesus to come quickly because
nothing good ever starts with I was grading papers and no good story ever follows.
Kind of in that same vein with the education system, I need Jesus to come quickly because there are teachers out here doing ungodly sexual things on their Zoom calls with the children still present, not realizing that they are live. And I'm like, first of all, why don't you just wait until the evening time when granted you're already in the privacy of your home, but this is during school hours, this is school time, you were just on a call, and then he's like, oh, I didn't realize that we were still live and it was being recorded, and students have taken this and it has gone viral here in Maryland and Montgomery County. So
I feel like
come quickly because people still don't know how to use Zoom.
Yeah, I feel like
there's some change into this pandemic.
This deep into the pandemic where we've been living on Zoom for about a year now.
Yep.
Double checking at minimum to make sure that you're no longer live, that your camera's off. I'm so paranoid about mute buttons.
This was in front of the kid's face.
He's also stealing company time.
Yeah.
He said they don't pay me enough. I'm gonna do what I want, and I can respect that. But like, not the kids.
Yeah.
What grade?
I don't remember, so I don't want to be lying on here. But he has been put on administrative leave. They're investigating. No, they're investigating it, and a bunch of other
too, but... Watch the film. That's the whole investigation. Roll tape.
Watch the film.
Not the film. The film doesn't cut it. So
the film. That's how serious this is. It is no longer a film. A film.
Watch the film. That's crazy. Mine is like a lot more serious. I took mine a lot more serious. But I need Jesus to come quickly because Derek Chauvin, who is the man who murdered George Floyd, he stands trial next month, and I need Jesus to come quickly because there's folk who are still trying to say that he shouldn't be charged with second-degree murder, and manslaughter and face up for 40 years, but that's literally like the minimum in my eyes. So
I look at this point, like no part of that even shocks me. Like the bar. Am I saying this year is like the bar is in hell? So like everything like to do with anything like that, I'm just like my expectations are so low. Just like if he even gets like convicted of anything,
Yeah.
if it's less than 40 at all, I'm gonna be so shocked. Tell you right now, I'm gonna be so surprised because like the bar is like.
I know, and that's the sad part about it, right? Like we have the standards that we want, but we just have no faith in our justice system whatsoever.
I stopped having expectations.
Yeah.
As soon as I became aware of like how the justice system, I was like, oh, so my expectations up here, they need to be,
Yeah. At least my faith in the justice system as it relates to officers and killings, because they seem to get it right when it's black on black or person of color against a person of color. But when
all of a sudden they are ace detectives.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, and there's a bill that was written in honor of him called the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act of 2020. And the last thing that's on the bill is to prohibit no knock warrants, and that's the same thing that's on the Breonna Taylor's law. That's like a bill that's trying to be passed right now as well. So I need Jesus to come quickly because these bills need to be passed for like the bare minimum of like the legacy of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd.
The minimum, like I said, the bar is on the floor.
Yeah.
Someone in the live chat contributed that you need to come quickly because winter was only 2 days, and I disrespectfully
Was it?
disagree.
What?
Like 2 years.
Recently,
Right.
let me tell you right now, the amount of snow that's on the ground upstate.
Oh, it's Robert Harris. Oh,
disrespectfully, they gonna have snow on the ground till June. Like winter came late, but it's been here for a while, and I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I didn't want no snow after Christmas to begin with, so I'm done with it.
This year, winter's like that person who arrives late to the party, and
I
then
don't know when to go
they
home.
still deserve the full length of time.
You showed up 2 hours late.
What else?
I want to stay them extra 2 hours.
Right.
But I just came though. Go good.
That's not how this goes.
Exactly.
Look, the DJ is packing up. We already played the cha-cha slide. It's over. It's over.
They're like, but I paid my $150. Where's the
Well, you
party?
should have shown up on time. Like,
I'm in all late.
Anyway, so now we're gonna get into all of the black excellence that is floating around.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to not be a mic hog and let someone else go first with any black excellence that they would like to present to the class. I'm attempting to be nice.
MLK Jr. didn't free the slaves.
Like, do we need to run a real quick history lesson? Wait, wasn't it? Didn't Trump think that somebody was still alive? That Frederick Douglass was like, oh yes, and thank you.
That's what you have in the background.
And everyone was like, who gonna tell him?
Right.
Because let me just.
My man was born in 1818, talking about he's still alive. Come
on. I mean, the bar is in hell. I give him props for trying to thank somebody. I don't know. Have you seen those of a black person?
I don't give him props.
I want to shout out.
Give him props. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I want to shout out like the teachers that have still put on like amazing kind of Black History Month programs and assignments for their students. During this pandemic, given and the level of creativity that I've seen on social media and kind of across the board of what people have done to make sure that this month doesn't go unrecognized and that message is still getting out there, despite some failings in in the education system and in history, and
Cough.
ninth graders thinking that MLK freed the slaves, but I think across the board, they've done some amazing things this season.
Black teachers always go above and beyond. I've seen especially like doorways. A lot of teachers like decorate their doorways for stuff.
Yeah.
And the amount of like decorations I've seen, I saw one that like stuck in my head, and like it was like hair, it was like an afro, and it looked really, really nice. And I was like, see, I can't go into teaching like that because I don't got that kind of energy. And I definitely feel like if you're gonna be a teacher, you gotta come with that high level, and I ain't there yet. So
you don't have to.
Much respect to all those teachers that come in at like 200%. I'm at 50%. And I'm like, look, I will give you assignments.
It comes because I am not that person. Like, y'all know me. I like, here it is, and that's it. There's nothing extra.
This is what it is. Bare bones.
It's just something that kind of develops over time. I did one for the holidays, winter holiday, like 2 years ago, and I did hip hop Christmas.
Hey.
So I had like all the pictures, on my door of hip hop songs that relate to Christmas and the holidays.
The kids going home singing remixes. Where you learn that?
Yeah. So it just comes.
Did you play Snoop's Christmas album in there?
I did not.
Is that allowed? I haven't listened to a Snoop Dogg song. Like I didn't know he was coming out with new music. So like I have not. I don't know if his stuff is like more PG than it used to be.
His gospel album is.
I'm sorry. His what?
His gospel album.
No. His gospel album is actually pretty good. I ain't going.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to Snoop. Since we're talking about Black excellence.
Snoop been doing the.
Snoop's done a good job of staying relevant.
Snoop is a legend. I ain't gonna lie.
Boundaries. His show with Martha. His gospel album. Like Snoop has been doing his thing.
Although it is very funny that people like. There's enough newer people on the internet that are like, yeah, who take Snoop Dogg seriously, that did not know that this man was on trial for like murder. Like, you should take him seriously. He's come a long way, and God bless him. But don't play with the man. He has a reputation for a reason. Yes, big up Snoop Dogg. Now, I'm going to take this time to circle back to my Marvel fans. And so 2 people that I was told to shout out. One is Monica Rambeau, who shows up in Captain Marvel, the movie, and in my new obsession, WandaVision. And she's the first, who's the girl that plays her? Teyana Farah? God, what's her name? Gorgeous young lady. And she's the first super-powered Black woman to show up in the MCU, which, by the way, it's been 10 years. The fact that only now she's showing up. But anyway, yay! And also that, what is this man's name? The guy who plays Falcon, his name's escaping me at the moment, is now Captain America. So he's the first Black Captain America on the screen. So big ups to both of them because, representation and all that good stuff. We need as much of it as we can. So that is my contribution. Thank you, Marvel, the MCU, for, finally splashing some color up on the screen there. There we go, Tiana Parrish. And the other guy's name is Anthony Mackie. And yeah.
Oh yeah, Anthony Mackie. Yeah.
I definitely know that my cousin is going to murder me for forgetting their names, but I tried. I did my best. Let's see what other.
Say their name.
We're talking about Black Awesomeness, right? That is what we're focusing on today. So I was sitting downstairs and I was like, oh man, what can I do to showcase this? So I came up with this poem because I was bored. I don't know how it's going to come out. Y'all can be honest with me. You can tell me when it's done, whether you like it or not. But this is my contribution to the discussion that I'm just going to sit back and listen to y'all for the rest of the time.
Wait a minute.
That's not how this goes. You know that, right?
Wait a minute.
All right. Hey, Black girl with your curvy hips, your full lips. Don't be distracted by the foolishness of certain events and the things that exist. Straighten your crown and hold your head high. You are not invisible like a small pin. You were made to win. Hey, black boy, go ahead with your pride that shows in your walk and your stride. Don't let the fools around you steal your swag. Keep your eyes focused. You got this in the bag. Your black excellence can't be matched. Your black excellence is all that. Don't be discouraged. Don't feel ashamed. Hold your head high and tell them black awesomeness is your number one game.
Get the snaps.
Oh, y'all bring me back? You'll bring me back?
Yes, I actually want to write that down somewhere. That's something that like I would like want to frame somewhere. Like it's very inspiring. I 110% dig it.
Oh, thank you.
I also really like poetry. I feel like that's something that I would find on Pinterest and be like, I actually need to share this with every black person ever. Coming to America too.
Put it on Pinterest.
I
Let
probably
me copyright it real quick.
I probably will. Someone mentioned a Coming to America too, which
Yeah, that comes
I'm
out next
vaguely
weekend.
aware of. I would like to point out that no one in that cast, well, okay, half the people in that cast have not aged. Who am I thinking of? Eddie Murphy.
Black don't crack. You know that, right?
Don't crack.
Black don't crack unless you disown it. Cough, cough, Stacey Dash, and Raven Simone. There's some black folk out there that's aging like crack plastic. Like
I have a confession though for Coming Up to America too. I have not seen the
first one.
Cut her.
Oh,
cut
you're
her
done.
off
Done.
Cut her off the.
Done. Seriously. Wow. And you're from New York?
That is a cut.
The
second one comes out, you have to see the first one.
Yeah, you've got to watch the first one and then watch the second one.
I have not. So my black awesomeness works.
Your card might be revoked.
Except movie. My black card for movies has
I
been.
still have the DVD.
I respect it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them I haven't seen, but I'll just.
I also submit.
Okay, so what are some of the classics then? What are like, you know, as we're talking about like black awesomeness and films and stuff, what are some of the classics then?
Cool Runnings is like my top of the list, like classic black kind of stuff. One, because it's like, to my knowledge, based on like a true story type stuff. Two, Jamaica, even though I don't claim the men, I just claim Jamaica.
Black Panther, yeah.
Black Panther, yes.
Black Panther.
No competition at
my
all.
mom is one of those like old school. She watches those old black and white movies. So I grew up on
Boys in Hood, Poetic Justice, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen any of those, and I'm okay with that. Baby Boy.
Have you seen Friday?
I just seen them for the culture. Like, that's crazy.
All of those,
I didn't grow up with those.
Like, oh my gosh, my heart broke. And I'm like, I don't need my heart broke.
I didn't see any of those. Like, my mom had me watch To Stir with Love. Like, that is what I grew up on.
That's Sidney Poitier?
Yeah.
Wasn't he the first?
Sidney Poitier. Wow.
He was the first black male to win an Oscar, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I met him when I was like 10.
Wow. That's awesome.
How was it?
It was cool. I mean, I was 10. I was my mom's co-worker. His mother worked at the school where Sidney Poitier's daughter was graduating from, Sarah Lawrence College. And he somehow asked his mom was able to get tickets to the graduation because he knows how much my mom loves Sidney Poitier. And so we got to go, and I was sitting next to Katharine Hepburn, the one who plays the mom, and guess who's coming to dinner? She was like sitting next to me and stuff. So it was kind of cool.
Wow.
After took a picture, but like those are the movies I grew up around. Imitation of Life.
I think
Love. You know.
I don't think we really. Well, my house was not a really movie house to begin with, so I'm an oddity in that I showed up with this love of movies and an obsession with AMC. But like the one, like I don't even know if it's considered a black culture movie per se. is Freedom Riders. That
Hmm.
even though that movie broke my heart every time I saw it, we were all like, yeah, that's the movie we want to watch. That's what we want to watch. And even though the main character per se was this white lady, it was about a class of, Black kids and, minorities and all the good stuff and, in bettering themselves and stuff like that. So it is a really great movie, and it's one of my favorites that now I kind of can't watch because it makes me sad sometimes. But it is an awesome movie. I do appreciate that, like, Blackness is being brought more to the screen, like in its true to form type of way now, and it's not always like a laughing matter type stuff. Even though we do, look, Black comedies, Black sitcoms will always be the golden tier as far as I'm concerned. But I like seeing that there's more Black representation, because for a span of time there, you turn on the television, there was nobody.
Yeah.
But now there's more. Keenan Thompson, I'm gonna call him out. Keenan Thompson has his own show.
Yes,
And
I
Keenan
saw
Thompson that most of us probably know from all that way back when.
From Good Burger.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keenan and Kel.
Yes, he was. He's been on SNL for I think
Long
like
time.
ever since all that. Till
He's
like
the
now.
longest running person on SNL ever.
And he
Really?
does good stuff, and now he has his own show. So like, props to him. I feel like he doesn't get as much recognition as he probably should. Like, he's very consistent, and he's a funny dude. So I would like to recognize him real quick as part of our Black excellence.
I think that's important too, especially, as having that representation in the media, in movies, in TV shows, because we sit in front of a screen like 90% of our day. So to make sure that we are seeing positive images of ourselves, and especially in having that reinforced for the younger generations, I think is key and crucial. So I'm happy to see as well that there, companies like Amazon and Netflix and Hulu and stuff, that they are trying to have more Black voices, and not just celebrating Black History Month in February, but having, like Shondaland and like the programs and the things that she's trying to put forward out on Netflix, the comedians, Tracy Haddish and her specials and other people. So it's good to see that there's, hopefully more representation, even more representation to come as well.
Yeah. Speaking of shows, shout out to Henry Louis Gates. You guys catch Black Church?
No, I didn't see that.
The Black Church documentary, there was 2 parts on PBS.
Yeah.
I don't have
Okay.
cable.
It's Channel 13.
PBS is not on cable.
I don't have a television with like the channels.
With an antenna?
It's on.
I have Netflix,
The rabbit ears?
and Disney Plus. This is it. Like, if it's not,
It's on the PBS website.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to watch it on there.
If you
Okay.
can,
I'll add that to my
watch it, it's really good, talking about the evolution basically of the Black church in America. It's really good. That's all I can say
I
about
will
it.
add it to my list. So we have a Ryan Coogler. We have to celebrate all the old Black sitcoms, which are One-on-One, which is on Netflix, and I have been rewatching it because that's a favorite of mine. One-on-One, Half and
This is the
Half.
one with the dad, the basketball player or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, went on to play Michael Jackson in a biopic.
Yes.
So it
They
is.
painted that man white
Yes, that was horrible.
and tried to convince us that this 6'3" man could be Michael Jackson.
That
who
was a
like
shame.
5'6".
That was
Yeah.
not
That was a
Black
disgrace.
That was the worst biopic I ever seen.
That was
I
not
definitely did
Black
not watch
excellence.
it because I believe in self-love. I wanted
Crazy.
no parts of that. But a lot of those older Black sitcoms are now on Netflix. So if you did not get to watch them as a kid, now is your chance. And shout out to Ryan Coogler. Arthur already put up Black Panther, but that's the director, I believe, of Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be confusing the different
Yep.
titles
Yeah.
to do with that. And also, he's probably going to be the person. I hope they keep him in charge of whatever the next Black Panther is, et cetera, because he does good work.
Yeah.
But shout out to Kev on stage. He's been
Hilarious. Yeah,
Yes.
he's great.
COVID has definitely. I'm
Been
not
kind
saying
to
he
him.
wouldn't
He's
have
been-
gone without COVID, but it has really taken him to the next
Yeah.
level. So shout out to him and what he's doing.
But I think a lot of people in the entertainment industry and how creative they had to become with the fact that, people couldn't come to the theater anymore to see them. So, like Versus, Timberland and Swiss Beats putting that together and bringing together the artists.
Mhm.
And of course, Beanie Man and Bouncy Killer, for me, that was still the number one of all of them because they, where they're like, oh, we got to be in the same room. And after that, everybody tried to make it, better and better. And then also as well, just individual, I know we're talking a lot about like celebrities and different people on social media, but I think too, just people like, I'm gonna shout out Arthur for starting his own podcast and other young
And
Black
there's a YouTube
for doing their
channel to go with
podcasts
it.
and YouTube channels and, the entrepreneurs that sprung up because maybe they got let go and they're like, all right, I need a side hustle real quick to pay these bills. And they started whether it's a t-shirt business or whatever, something
Speaking
on
of t-shirt
Etsy,
businesses, this shirt is from a business of a friend of mine called Splendid Raincoat, and it's a small Black business. So go check it out.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like
all these political types.
I'm gonna need that link.
Yeah, I was looking at the shirt.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Splendid Raincoat is the name of the
Splendid Rain Co.
Splendid Raincoat. Yeah.
Okay.
So she does a whole bunch of different ones. This one might be a little bit controversial. I don't know if you guys, because she got really big like a year or two ago, I think in 2018. She made a shirt that was like Columbus is a murderer or something like that. And most of the internet wanted to throw her off her boat. However, that's how she started her business, XYZ. So she does a lot of different shirts, and I buy whenever I can. So this is one of her shirts. So I'm gonna plug that and support the all Black businesses that that started during quarantine or had to step their game up during quarantine. I salute you, because do not let social media fool you. Running a business is hard.
Yeah.
It is not easier than a 9-to-5 job, and I do definitely feel like a lot of the internet has fooled a lot of people into being like, nah, I can do this. This is fine. And I'm not saying you can't, but you should know what you're signing yourself up for before you jump in with both feet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to start a small business, especially as a Black person, do your research first, please. I beg of you. And I wanted to shout out the inaugural poet, the young lady that
Amanda Gorman.
Amanda Gorman. She was 22, and she was the inaugural poet. And I love to see it. I just do. I did not watch the inauguration because I'm terrible that way. But I respect it. I forgot about it.
I saw something on one of those, supposedly professional Facebook groups.
Supposedly.
And because people be out of pocket. And somebody had the nerves to say that her being named the National Youth Poet Laureate was basically like a token prize. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, to be honest,
I'm sorry.
Everything. Like as soon as a Black person
achieves anything, and I'm like, don't be mad because your poetry still only read in your bathroom.
Yeah, there's always that person on Facebook that thinks that like anytime a Black person does something like on a grand scale, that some white person is behind it, or like that like a Black person has to be like a white person is like holding them like a trophy person. That's not the case like most of the time. So that's true. Like that happens sometimes,
of course,
but not all the time. Not like 100% of the time.
It can't be.
There's always going to be
haters.
Yeah,
they be
hating.
Like,
haters. So
it can't be all the time, because that would then mean that each one of us here and everyone else that's in our circle has only accomplished what we have because of someone else.
Some benevolent white person.
Right.
Let me tell you right now, I didn't even know any white people until I was 10. Okay, so
that's crazy.
First of all, I worked damn hard for them 4.0 GPAs I had in grad school. Ain't no colonizer was sitting up. They wasn't shooting with me in the gym. Okay, I earned that.
I didn't know Douglas till I was in college. So
wait, say that again?
I didn't know who Frederick Douglass was until I went to college. So
Till you went to
Really?
college?
hmm
Where did you grow up?
Yeah.
Vegas, Las Vegas.
Is that because it like wasn't in the school system? It wasn't.
Look,
Nope, none of
school
that.
systems,
Interesting.
especially in white
The school
predominant
system
areas.
in like the Clark County School District, like the school system in Vegas is ranked 50 out of all the states. Like it's the worst out of all the states.
Wow.
In any state that you can think of.
To do worse than Alabama or Texas.
It's worse than
like,
Alabama. It's worse
And
than
Georgia?
Mississippi. It's worse than Georgia. It's worse. Like it's the worst
That
system. So like if it's the worst school system in general, imagine like Black history. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Non-existent. Yeah.
Look, even I mean, and I went to a apparently, which was the best high school in my district, in my area. And like the Black history we learned about was like the generic MLK, Rosa Parks, maybe half a line about Malcolm X. And then they were like, okay, we're gonna just shuffle along. Like
Yeah.
MLK came
Shout
along
out to
and the last racist in the world killed him, and then it's great now.
yeah, it's all well and good
And
now.
I'm like,
No.
Let's put it
Shout
all
out to
behind us.
shout out
There's a
to
lot
Jesus
missing.
and the Black Messiah. That was a really good film. I
I
really
haven't
enjoyed it.
seen it.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, it's a really good film. It's not a waste of time at all. You should definitely check it out. But I also
I
want
trust your recommendation, so I will add that to my list.
Oh yeah, I'm a tough grader. So you know, if I say it's a good movie, all of that on like all up there is movies. So, but yeah, like
Mercy.
if I say it's a good movie, then it's a good movie. But
Yeah.
I also wanted to just shout out all the people who have really like gave voice to the Black experience in like a very unique way. People like Jordan Peele, people like Toni Morrison, people like
Jordan Peele.
Audre Lorde, and people who have just like represented us like in a good way on and off the screen or on and off the court. People like Simone Biles or people like Kurt Franklin who like
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams, like when they're in like not so Black spaces, they still represent us well, and they still have like that excellence that is really important for people to know. Because a lot of white people haven't seen like Black people, like a lot of white people haven't really experienced like so like for them to like really like not be the Raven Simones of the world is like really important. So
Naomi Osaka
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
shout out to Naomi
Yeah,
Osaka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That
She's the one that's messing up Serena's continuing reign, and I say that in the best way possible. Denzel
But I think
Oh
Washington.
yeah,
people don't think
Denzel
about
is my man.
Is Denzel still doing things?
I
Yeah,
think
he was
Yeah.
just in a movie on was it the Little Things with Rami Malek and Jared Leto.
No.
And then last year he had did the Ma Rainey's Black
can't watch
Bottom.
Yeah,
that.
he directed that, right?
Yeah, and like that was actually a rendition of August Wilson's play.
Okay.
Ma
Yeah.
Rainey. So it's he's really like I've been on him since The Great Debaters. Okay,
Yeah.
ever since The Great
My
Debaters.
favorite movie for him is Remember the Titans.
That's a good
Yeah, that's
one.
good.
Although I can't
That's
watch that
good.
too often either because it also makes me sad. A lot of
Glory,
movies
like
make me
from
sad.
Glory. Remembered when he did also I saw him live in the stage play Fences that he did with Viola Davis.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
For me, that to me is like you truly see his craft and his art. You know, because with movies and TV shows, it's hard for sure, but there's breaks you can stop and start and
Yeah.
different takes. But when you're live in theater, there's no like, oh, I forgot my line or this and pause. You gotta. I mean,
I didn't
and
know
that,
he actually did it. Like in
yeah,
person
it was
play.
phenomenal.
I saw that movie in theaters, and I was like, first of all, y'all need to give a trigger warning because
Oh yeah,
15 minutes in, I was like, I can't. I was not prepared for this. Like,
Yeah.
it's a really, really good movie, but I was like, y'all need to give some warning because I'm struggling. I'm gonna stay because I paid good money for this movie, but the struggle is real. Someone put One Night in Miami, which I believe is okay. There's 4 people. It's Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali,
yep.
Mhm.
and I don't know the other 2.
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, and
I don't remember who the 4th one is.
I said Muhammad Ali.
So then it's just 3.
No, it's 4.
No, it's a fourth one. I forgot the fourth one's name too.
You're all fired because you're supposed to catch me.
Make
when
it till you
I
make
forget
it,
something.
right? Fake it
Right.
till you-
One Night in Miami.
Oh, the fourth one. What's his name? It's like a really generic name too, like
A
my
very
name,
generic name. Now there was no
like
name.
John Jones.
Jim Brown.
John
Jim
Smith.
Brown.
Jim,
No,
Jim
somebody
Brown.
put it in the chat. They said
The
it's
name
Jim
is actually
Jim
Brown.
Brown.
See,
Yikes, Jim Brown.
generic.
And
Jim Brown.
the guy who plays Sam Cooke is Leslie Odom Jr., who I will put forward for a nomination for Black Excellence because he's great. I'm gonna just put that
Yeah, he's
there.
phenomenal.
There's also Sylvie's Love.
I found him in Hamilton, and I was obsessed with him and the character he played and all that good stuff. Like he sings awesome. His acting is so I nominate him for the Black Excellence.
I saw a little twinkle in her eye when she was singing. You can sing, and oh my god!
Look, I appreciate a triple threat. Okay, if you can sing, you can act, and you can dance. I got your photo up on my wall. I think you're awesome.
So,
Black?
do you guys know who Dule Hill is? So he's the black actor that's in that TV show Psych.
Yeah.
So he can sing, he tap dances, and he acts.
Wow.
And so I saw him, when the world was open at the Kennedy Center, doing, I think, was it the Nat King Cole celebration, his 100-year celebration, or something like that. And so when they brought him out, I was like, isn't this the guy from Psych? And I mean, he stole the show. He blew away everybody with tap dancing and doing all this kind of stuff. So there's so many amazing Black artists out there that you don't even know all of the talent that they possess.
Yeah. I know him from a show called The West Wing, which was before Psych. But I knew about Psych beforehand. So I was like, sir, are you lost? Why are you here? But I love him. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I didn't know his name. That's my issue.
We have a lot of Black actors like that. There's something apparently that's called Black famous, where there is, and I'm gonna give you an example. If you've ever seen a Medea movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, the bald guy Charles, every Black person ever would literally just had the visceral reaction of, I hope he gets hit by a car. But if you mention him to people that aren't Black, they're like, huh? Black famous is a thing, and Regina King is unfortunately, I think, one of the victims of that. Like Regina King is so awesome at what she does, and she's getting more exposure now.
Yeah,
but there was a section in time where people kind of just like, she did the voices for 2 of the main characters from Boondocks, and
but she's been around for a minute. Like
let's not disrespect.
Like she's not fresh on the scene.
No, she's not. But I'm just saying that like a lot of people.
First of all, she's becoming more 227.
Yeah, exactly. 227.
Don't do
Poetic
that.
Justice. Boys in the Hood. Friday. We are living single in a single kind of world. She is a living single.
Way, Friends is just a pasty version of Living Single.
Very pasty.
Yeah.
Jerry Maguire, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Come on.
Oh yeah, she was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s wife in Jerry Maguire.
She's really good. She's a really good actress. Just for whatever reason, her name is
going.
Classic.
Yeah. She's also a director and producer as well.
Yeah. She has a lot of stuff that she's done, like good stuff. And for some reason, like recently now she's getting a lot bigger, like outside of the Black community. But for some reason, like she just was not. People were not giving her recognition that I feel like she deserved.
Y'all need to go watch Watchmen. Watchmen?
Is that the one with the naked blue guy?
It's the one with her in it, okay? That's all you need to know. she's phenomenal, okay? And she's in that movie with Leslie Odom Jr. that's like fun to come out. She's in that movie.
I will Google that. Apparently the PhD that led on the COVID vaccine with Moderna is Black.
Yeah.
And went to UMBC. I did not know that. So
yeah, it's a Black chick who led that.
It's a woman?
Yeah. As far as I know.
There was an article about her last year, remember?
Yeah. I mean, we do some crazy, amazing things, and not just in the areas that colonizers think that we're good in, right? Such as athletics.
Basketball and
Yeah,
rapping.
like
That's
we
it.
do
That's
things
all we're
in
allowed to
other
do.
areas, and we're starting to make a name for ourselves in those realms where people felt we really don't belong. The comics, some of the other art forms that aren't, just traditional theater, where people are like, oh, that's not for me. That's
Ballet.
a black thing. Ballet. Talk about Misty Copeland. Like,
Yes.
we're really
Yeah.
starting to put a name for ourselves out there.
But I think also too, like in what you're saying is a lot of people see us in sports and comedy and in movies and stuff. But voice over internet protocol, which allows for WhatsApp calls and Skype and Zoom, like all this kind of stuff. That technology was basically spearheaded and created by a Black woman that works for Google. And so there's a lot of different ways that we have contributed to the greater part of society that just goes unrecognized.
Unnoticed, yeah.
Unnoticed. They talk about, a lot of people like Mae Jemison in space and, being the first Black astronaut and female astronaut and stuff.
Mae Jemison I think she's the only person, or the only Black person, to have been in real space and in fake space, because she's guest starred on Star Trek at one point.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is cool because I love Star Trek. So,
but then you also have Katherine Johnson, right? One of the hidden figures, and like the work that she did. I was reading up something on her the other day, and I was like, "Yo, this lady was pretty dope."
What is the name of the movie that they made about her and such?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures,
right?
Which is the first time that I ever found out about any of that.
Yeah, and then I was reading something, and they said they had the calculations for the trip, right? John Glenn's trip into space, and they had the computerized calculations. And he is like, that's all well and good, but unless this chick does the manual calculations, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Like that's
they had her double check the computer. That's how accurate
by hand.
That's how accurate. Look, I already knew I can't even go within spitting distance of NASA because I struggle with 2 + 2. So the fact that she was outdoing the actual computers is just.
And that's the other thing too. Like we look at, because you mentioned Katherine Johnson, but then there's like Sheila Johnson, who owns Salamander Resorts. I don't know if you guys know it, which is like a really exclusive resort down in Virginia. But she is also one of the partners in for the Mystics, for the Wizards, for the Washington Capitals, for everything that's associated with that. Black female, amazing lady. Then Walgreens, they are, I think her name is Roz Brewer. She's going to be the first Black female CEO of a Fortune 500 company for Walgreens. She's going to take the position in March. I mean, we are constantly shattering that glass ceiling and just doing amazing things as women. And, we're talking about Blackness and awesomeness, but next month we're going to be getting into, March, which is Women's Appreciation Month. So I think we just need to, just take note and take stock of how incredible we are, all of us as a people, especially Black females.
Yeah. And just a good thing to realize that there really is no limit. There may be a little bit of a struggle or challenge. That's just life. But anything that we really want to accomplish, it's out there. We can do it. And the examples are there to show us like, yo, if you really want to get this done, it can get.
You can do it.
Yeah. And just surrounding yourself with the right people as well. That's a big part of it.
Most definitely.
Like Black excellence is not something that's like just in the past or just done through like celebrities. It's done through everyday folk like y'all. So we're even, celebrating, the regular folk like us who are not necessarily celebrities, but God still works through us, But my favorite entertainer since I was little has been Jamie Foxx. Like Jamie Foxx is my favorite. So
Fox show.
It's good.
like now he's been in some bad movies, but he never did a bad job. Not in my opinion. So
We could say
so
that.
that's my stance on everything. But no, he can sing, he can act, he can write.
He's a comedian. He's funny. He started off doing jokes on
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
When he decided to cross over and do music, I got mad at him because I was like, you can't do everything. Pick one thing.
And what's
You can't do
crazy is
everything and
he's
be
good at
good.
music too.
Yeah, he is good.
I'm like, you can't do everything and be good at it. Pick one of them to struggle in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Because there's some of
anyways,
us that ain't good at
haters can sit in the back. Like I
Right.
said before, Jamie Foxx is a legend in my opinion. He's a living legend in my opinion. Now, also Stevie Wonder is a living legend in my opinion as well. So shout out to him.
Quincy Jones.
Stevie
Quincy Jones.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he like. Have you guys seen that movie on Netflix? The Black Godfather, and it's basically
No, but I've
I
heard
feel
it's
like I
good though.
started watching that.
It's great. It's good. So this guy and Quincy Jones are like best friends, and it basically I can't remember the man's name. I'm terrible with names, but it basically talks about how he made so many different connections within the industry, and everybody knows who he is. And so, and I also and then it obviously highlighted Quincy Jones, and I knew that he did so many things with Michael Jackson and like all of these different artists, but I didn't realize like how he's touched every single genre basically within the music industry and just been behind the scenes on so many things.
We're everywhere. That's what I got from that. We're everywhere.
We are
Cannot be
everywhere.
escaped.
Shout out to Barack Obama writing these books, Michelle Obama doing these.
I mean, they're just awesome. That's it. Full stop. Period. Done.
Full stop. Nothing else.
They're just phenomenal. And recently I've been seeing a lot of Obama slander just because, it's like Biden's first 100 days right now. And, Biden is not really, doing what he said he was going to do as quickly as he said he was going to do it right now. But people are comparing it to Barack Obama, obviously, right? And look, y'all, I feel like Barack Obama, he had did what he could do. He's trying to stay alive. Y'all, so leave my man's alone. But yeah, he was just, it was just like a wonderful time to see them in office, and even after they came out of office, they're still a phenomenal family. They're still doing wonderful things. So
look, Obama left office. And Obama left office, it looked like he had just got out of an abusive relationship. My man was out in the Caribbean skiing, living his best life. All of a sudden, his grays were a little bit less. He was looking all youthful. Look, let the man live.
live.
He did what he could.
But he's still doing these amazing things, which I think goes to show who they are as individuals. It wasn't just about the office, right? And fulfilling this political agenda. It's really about accomplishing things that will help to uplift the community and help others. And I mean, you can't compare Obama's first 100 days to Uncle Joe's first.
Circumstances are different.
right.
Obama had to clean up a little bit of a mess from Georgie, but what Biden has to clean up right now
from Trumpy.
We are not giving him a nickname, Arthur. That's canceled. Don't ever
the golden Trump
from Orangey.
But that's it. That's all the airtime he gets on this black.
From Cheeto Puff?
Yeah, right. That's it. All right.
Oh, her name was Dr. Kazmika S. Corbet. That's the COVID researcher from.
The COVID. I refuse to say that out loud because I wanted to hear it said first, and I was not.
Well, I said it. I had mispronounced it probably. So
I'm not gonna be the person to butcher that on live television. Tell you right now. Y'all not gonna get to cancel me. All right, so now we're gonna see how we can connect this. I mean, this is really about real life, but how we can connect this to our everyday lives, etc., etc. All right. Well, actually, before I give my connection, before my cousin throws something at me from Maryland. I'm required to shout out HBCUs. I did not go to one, so I don't really business. But I've been told they're great establishments, and that if you can, go to one. All about the Black excellence, even if I didn't get to partake. Now, for my connection, I'm gonna bite off what Simone said earlier of just there are so many examples of Black excellence that if you want to do something, there's definitely an example for it. Or even if there isn't an example for what you specifically want to do, there is at least that it can be done. Like the sky is the limit. You are capable of whatever it is that you want to achieve. And if it has been done before, you can be the example for someone else further down the line. Do not let anybody else. Look, if somebody in your circle is trying to discourage you, first of all, push them off the boat. But you are capable of all that you want to accomplish. Okay, I believe in you 110%. Yes, push them straight off the boat. There's so much Black excellence. You are already part of it by being alive, but you can do even more if your little heart desires. So
True.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, there's that verse in the Bible that talks about God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, right? And so to know that we are more than conquerors, that we are capable, and through Christ, we're strengthened. And so I think that as a people, we've definitely shown all of those characteristics and those qualities in what we've highlighted today in terms of books and poets and musicians and artists. We didn't even get to Basquiat or any of the Jacob Lawrence or any of the artists and stuff. We didn't touch on them. And actors and actresses and physicians and philosophers, like the whole gamut. We're everywhere. We're touching everything, and we are raising the bar and elevating not just ourselves and future generations, but also hopefully we're holding each other accountable, and we're holding others accountable too, for just kind of what we bring and the contributions that we make, and just knowing that we have a God in heaven who is there supporting us and rooting for us down here.
Yeah, true. So the Bible also tells us that we are a peculiar people and a royal priesthood. And I think when it comes to us chocolate folks, God added a little bit more,
Seasoning.
some seasoning, salt,
some Lowry's,
some coffee, some garlic salt, some cumin, some paprika, some sazon.
Jerk,
just throw the whole cabinet in there. Just
a little bit something more got thrown in there. But it just shows that we are here. Like there's a purpose. There's a purpose for each and every one of us, and finding our purpose is so important, and making sure that the impact we leave on this world is going to be remarkable and great, and others will remember us for years to come. So do you and be awesome.
Definitely.
Yep. I mean, the Bible also says that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And when we look at the faith that our ancestors have had, and just what they were able to accomplish while they were alive, and then even some of us today, just have a faith that we can move mountains, that we can do the impossible today. When we look at what people like Elizabeth Keckley and Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and Frederick Douglass were able to do in their time period in the 1800s, it was impossible feats. But even when we look at ancient times, like in Mesopotamia and in the land of Kush, and in ancient African history, some of the things that they did were it was impossible to people in the Western civilization. And so
that's why they think aliens are the ones that built the pyramids. Just because y'all can do it doesn't mean we can.
Right. We've been knew what electricity was way before Newton and them. But anyway, when we think about the legacy and the history of of our people, like we are what our ancestors prayed for. We are like those prayers answered. And so walk in that and know that you are beautiful, you are smart, you are intelligent, you are a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. Like you are here to not only walk into whatever career field that it is that you believe God is calling you to, but it is ultimately for the benefit of all of creation.
Yeah. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
So before we let gentle people go, I am told that I must be advertising for the other things that we do here at F.L.O.W. And let's see, Simone is the advertisement person. All I know is that we do this.
All right, fam. So check us out on Fridays at 7:00 for The Word, where we just take time and break down the Word, right? The Bible with other like-minded folks. Then Saturday or Sabbath mornings at 10:30, you could join us for Soul Food, where we spend a little bit more time breaking down the Word, but just really digesting what it is that God wants to share with us. Sabbath afternoons or Saturday afternoons at 4:30. You catch us here on YouTube for F.L.O.W. Presents, where we talk about all things related to young adults in this modern time. And then every once a month or so, we get together for fellowship for what we call Sunday dinner, where we just chop it up and talk about life. So feel free to join us on any of these times on any of our platforms. We appreciate you. We love you. We're going to invite you in. No shade to anyone. Just come and join us. Only requirements that you be a young adult, which means I gotta leave. But.
Yeah. And so
we're not going to put an age on young either, because
just before we close out, obviously remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. But then also next week we're taking a break, but we will be back March 13th, starting off our new series about celebrating Women's Appreciation Month. All right, so everybody be blessed and see you back March 13th.
thank you for joining us.
Peace out.